Let's talk about finances, shall we? How can I build credit? Well, how can I build credit? A couple of different things. We talked about credit cards a little while back. I think the specific video is raising your overall credit score. But how? If you don't have access to a credit card or anything like that, okay, how do you just simply raise your credit? Starting from ground zero or just rebuilding from a couple of errors along the way? Financial success is largely determined by your credit score. Yes, it gives you access to a bunch of things that keep the most wealthy of the percentile of the population the most wealthy. If you can find a way to leverage other people's money, you will find yourself infinitely wealthy. It's a path that I need to traverse a little bit further before I can start to give any insight on it, but just know that's how wealthy people maintain their wealth. After all, having good or excellent credit will lower your interest rates, access perks like rewards, and give you more negotiating power. And it can also give you more opportunities to build your credit. What if you have poor credit? Well, for the 16% of Americans with a FICO score of 300 to 579, that's not good. It might be difficult for you to obtain a line of credit, rent an apartment, or even land a job. Yeah, some financial institutions, some higher end positions require a credit check. I think that's all fine and dandy. I've just never run across it yet in my line of work, but okay. And if you're able to get approved, your interest rate will be much higher. Yeah, you can get some of those credit cards that are up there in interest rates in like the mid 20s. Oofda. It is for those reasons that understanding how to build credit is so crucial. In fact, without credit history, lenders can't determine if you'll be able to pay your bills or not. So, in a way, it's just as bad as bad credit. No credit is bad credit. That's why if you remember those commercials from back in the late 90s, early 2000s, good credit, bad credit, no credit, come on down, we'll sell you an old Pontiac. In short, credit building should be the priority for everyone. Yeah, eventually you're going to need money. You're eventually going to need to lease something, buy something, rent something, own something. You're going to need a decent credit score, okay? You're going to need to be in the 700, if not higher club, okay? Come up here. The air's a little bit nicer. Since 22% of Americans don't have a credit score, I'd imagine probably within the Western world, there's probably not a lot of deviation off that line as well. Okay, you should at least know it, have access to it. Credit score and report reflect your past debt management. In order to calculate your credit score, your credit reports contain information reported by your creditors. You're evaluated often off the 3-digit credit score. Oh, if you're in the double digits, you should probably just start your life over, which ranges from 300 to 850. Oh, good thing to know. I'm in such a high percentile. Not flexing or anything. I'm not going to tell you my actual credit line or my actual credit score. That's for me to know. And I don't think my previous success is in any way indicative of your future potentiality. Just saying. Often more risk is associated with lower scores and vice versa. Yeah, and also just being lazy. When you apply for credit from a potential lender, your credit becomes more significant. And though you may not be aware of this, it can happen both small and big things in life. For example, you want a shiny new iPhone. Credit reports may be checked if you finance the phone. Yeah, exactly. Because I got to go do that with my stupid phone. Okay, I got to get a new program, or not a new program, but a new contract or something like that. Whenever a decent perk or something shows up. We talked about that when it came to reducing credit card debt last week or the week before. Can't quite remember, but that'll be the next time when my credit score gets dinged or pulled, and then they're just going to be like, wow, sir, we should be treating you a little bit better, even though you're dressed like a bum. Anyways, for example, securing a credit card with a lower interest rate. Types of credit: revolving credit. Account holders with revolving credit may borrow money repeatedly at a set dollar limit. Kind of like a credit card. Okay, that makes sense. Both credit cards and lines of credit operate on the principle of revolving credit. Installment credit. Typically, installment credit involves borrowing money and paying it back in fixed monthly installments. Mortgages, auto loans, student loans, personal finance loans all fall under this category. And then we got service credit. Basically, service credit is the account that you have with anyone who provides you with a service and bills for with you every month. Okay. Accounts with service credit include utilities and cell phone bills. Oh, okay. Interesting. So flexible bills as opposed to installment credit, which is a little bit more fixed. Okay, that makes sense. How to start building your credit using a credit card. Okay. Because unless you're the literal dregs of society and you just recently declared bankruptcy and that's just hanging over your life, you can pretty much get a bank, or you can pretty much get a credit card. It might suck. The interest rates might be high, but as long as you pay everything off within that grace period, you won't have to worry about the interest rates being astronomical. There's some credit cards designed with that in mind to help build, repair, or foster a credit rating. Following cards can be used to help establish and build credit, but only if they're used responsibly. So, a secured credit card to build credit. Secured credit cards are a lot like traditional cards with one main difference. They require a deposit. So, it's kind of like using your debit card, but you can build credit off the back of that. You're approved for a secured card. You put money down to open the account. The money acts as collateral simply to a security deposit to an apartment rental. Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't know that was a thing, but then again, when I got my first card at 18 or something like that, it was one of the local credit union's MasterCard affiliate. That was unsecured, and I think it was either a $500 or $1,000 credit limit. That was the way that it started out. What a fun building process that was. Anyways, student cards to build credit. There are some credit cards designed with college students and recent graduates in mind. That sounds like some predatory stuff right there, but okay. And like other credit cards, responsible use of these cards may help you build credit. Of course, some student credit cards offer cashback rewards and other perks too. Yay, wonderful. In some cases, you may not even need to be a student to apply for one of these cards. Yeah, you could be alumni. That could be another one of those factors that might end up checking a box on there for you to get access to that. Because they could have, yeah, like it says, good rewards, good incentives that are in there. Better than just a basic, a local bank card. Become an authorized user. Yeah, here's a pretty cool hack, okay? Get on somebody's credit card or somebody's profile that has good credit, and then by proxy you can leech off of it, but you need to do that with somebody who's a very high reputation individual. If you're struggling to qualify for a credit card on your own, there may be other alternatives. One option is to become an authorized user. You can become an authorized user if someone gives you access to their existing credit card account. If you're added as an authorized user, you get your own card, but the original card owner is responsible for the payments. It's kind of like co-signing a loan, but specifically for credit cards. It's a very unique situation. Just the person who's putting you on your account really has to trust you. Unless it's like a sugar daddy, sugar baby situation, then you know what, hey, all bets are off. Just saying. If both you and the primary card holder use your credit responsibly, then it's possible that being an authorized user may be a way in which you can work to build credit, but the opposite is also true. Yes, they also take on the liability side of that, because normally an authorized user is somebody with a lower or non-existent credit limit, so there's really no downside for them. And you have everything to gain. Oh, and there we go. Yeah. Build credit with a cosigner. Yeah, of course. That's normally an application for a loan or something like that. Then you get somebody to come in, swing in their 770, 780, helping the 800 credit score around. And then if you do good on the loan, they're also assuming quite a bit of risk by becoming a cosigner. But if you pay everything off, everybody wins. So this is just a different situation. Same thing that you have with an authorized user. This is just for one of the more fixed lines of credit that are out there. Open a second credit card. Yes, of course. If you already have a credit card, applying for a second one, yeah, if you have good credit as well, you're going to have access to a whole host of cards. And then if you can negotiate on top of that, you have unlimited access and unlimited potentiality. Request a credit card increase, a limit increase. Sweet. Increasing your credit limit is an easy way to boost your credit score. And then also, if you maintain a balance, you're going to have more access and maneuverability. Credit limit increases can give you a slightly higher line of credit on each of your existing cards. You don't turn your extra credits into debt. That extra credit can help you grow your credit score. Yes, exactly. How to build your credit without a credit card. Pay your rent and utilities on time. Yes, exactly. And you should just be paying your bills on time regardless. Otherwise, you miss one, you miss two, then it starts to show on your credit score whenever somebody has to check that you're unreliable, ergo a bad bet when it comes to lending to them. A personal loan, small personal loan, should be available to you after you've used credit cards for a while and made on-time payments. In addition to diversifying your credit report and showing consistency with your payments, personal loans can raise your credit score over a period of 6 to 12 months. There are, however, some loans geared towards those with little or no credit, such as credit builder loans. Yes, of course. Credit unions typically offer credit builder loans, lending smaller amounts, around $300 to $1,000, into a locked savings account over a set period of time, referred to as a term. Borrowers make small payments. The money is paid out after all payments have been completed. Here's a very high-risk hack. Okay, if you have amassed a whole bunch of credit card debt for one of your other accounts or something like that, you can go and negotiate with one of your local account specialists, take out a credit builder loan, pay off your credit cards, and then at a reduced rate, then you can pay them off, or you can pay off that debt even if you have access to all the money, instead of just dumping it directly to Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, whoever you have as a provider. Then you end up getting the double whammy of also paying off your credit card, okay, and then also paying back a credit builder loan. There's another additional hack on there as well. And then other loans as well, such as mortgages, student loans, car loans, all that kind of stuff. Hey, if you just managed to cash in on the student loan debt, right? Yeah, you just got $10,000 free on that. I don't know how that affects credit scores. I don't even think the guy who pulled the trigger on that decision even knows how all that stuff works. Maintain good credit habits to help build credit from scratch. Don't miss a payment and make more than the minimum. Yes, of course. Create a budget. Okay, reach your financial goals is essential to create a budget. Yes, of course. Put aside savings and all that stuff, because again, just your saving account is also going to, it will reflect positively on your credit score as well. Monitor your credit report. Yes, if there's any dips or anything that's funky, make sure that you're aware of all the accounts that are still open, and make sure again that you don't miss any of the payments that are on there. Don't use more than 30% of your available credit. Yes, yes, yes. And that's why, changing the credit limits on there as well to maintain that 30%, because anything over that, you start to become a high risk creditor. Just get into it. Keep your credit card balance as low as possible. Your credit score is heavily influenced how much you owe the company compared to your credit limit or your credit utilization ratio, despite paying your credit card bills on time. If you spend close to the credit limit each month, you can negatively affect your credit score. The real boost of your credit rating can be achieved by getting your spending down to 20% of your limit. Yes, that's why I say always pay everything off as soon as it's posted. You get all the benefits from using your credit card, which credit cards are more widely accepted everywhere. You can do all your online shopping that way. And then also in store, everybody has access to credit. And then you can use your own money to pay off using other people's money and then reap the benefits of a positive growth on your credit score. It's so simple. It makes so much sense. But nobody in traditional public schooling is going to give you the goods on that. They'd just rather teach you other nonsense. Anyways, keep your credit accounts from getting overextended. Don't apply for more than one credit account at a time. Yeah, because multiple dings on your credit score. Okay, just little pings to see if you have access or availability to that credit. That's going to reflect poorly on there as well. Don't make unnecessary inquiries into your credit history exactly for the exact same reasons there, because additional dings, it's like, what do you need to know all that stuff for? It's a little bit of shady business that goes on, but just know it does. Maintain existing credit accounts. Yes, because again, it also reflects positively if you have long extended periods of just having an account open. It shows that you're a consistent user. And then, of course, if you've been paying your bills and you've been paying your loans out on time, that also reflects positively, because the people who would be more willing to extend you lines of credit know that you're going to be reliable, you're going to be paying your bills on time, and that they're also going to be able to collect on that interest because you have a very long relationship there. You're a solid individual. So facts about building credit. What is credit? Credit generally refers to the borrowing and repayment history of a consumer. Your credit includes loans, credit cards, other financial products. Of course, how can you build credit? In order to build credit, you must first establish responsible credit habits, maintain a low utilization ratio by using credit responsibly. How do you build credit with a credit card? In order to build credit, credit cards are useful for two main reasons. First, young consumers without credit or loans open a credit card is the first step to establishing a credit history. In addition, when used wisely, credit cards can improve your score by reducing credit utilization and on-time payments. Does being an authorized user build credit? Short answer, yes, but then again, you're also beholden to the authorizee, making sure that they pay the payments as well, but then also you're also responsible to somebody else. It's good for the short term. Don't be using it forever. Just use it as a springboard. It's paying rent, build credit. Of course, it is possible, but it's not easy as it seems, and there are monthly fees involved. Consult your landlord about reporting your rent payments to the credit bureaus, and he's like, what are you, a snitch? If it's not, you can use a service that will report your payments to the bureaus for you. Exactly. All of those little tips will get you more access and get you more prominent in the grand scheme of things. So if you're at a certain level right now and you have aspirations much more lofty than your current state, you can go out there and you can achieve it by using the system as it's intended and for your benefit. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.